So, the great thing about YouTube is that it is a system for aggregating all the stupidest people on the internet into one place. You see, before YouTube, a lot of times when you use the internet, you also had to do something called read. And by this I mean you actually had to look at things called letters and read them, like sentences, words, stuff like that. Boring stuff. The great innovation of YouTube is that now complete morons can have a comfy home on the internet where they can just watch videos about Minecraft, cats, auto insurance, etc., etc. But there is a catch here. You see, with YouTube's ingenious commenting system, a paradox comes up. These incredibly stupid people are now invited, the red carpet is laid out for them really, to contribute to the content that they see. It's like, imagine if your average TV viewer who, let's say, back in 1985, was watching America's Funniest Home Videos or whatever, but for some reason you gave this person a keyboard so they could type stuff that would appear on the screen right under the video. Can you imagine what would happen? In any case, out of fairness to the democratic pigsty that is YouTube, we here want to individually address some of the gifted people who have seen fit to contribute their nuggets of wisdom to our already quite annoying videos. So, first one, Relics7373 writes, "Hire a better voice actor, writer, and creative, as this was one of the most obnoxious and terrible ads I've ever seen." Okay. First of all, this moron obviously thinks he knows something about advertising because he uses the word creative. In the advertising biz, that's what they call the actual ad. I don't know what they call the rest of what advertising agencies do, going for lunch, buying new iPads, pretending to work, etc. But the actual ads are called the quote-unquote creative, FYI. So, this low-intelligence individual obviously thinks he knows something about advertising because he uses this fancy word. Now, what he is missing is that if our ad was actually crap, which of course it's not, our advertising is literally the best advertising that exists and has ever existed in the history of YouTube. But if our advertising did actually suck, as per his accusation, then he would have watched 10 seconds of it and gone back to whatever moronic content he was watching previously, but he didn't. What he did do, and here we're going to use another term that the assholes in the advertising industry love to use, what he did was engage. Now in this case, as a person of limited intellectual gifts, the best he could do was to say that our ad was obnoxious and terrible. But we'll forgive him because obviously this individual is not playing with a full deck of cards. Next, as part of our commitment to a multi-ethnic, multilingual, egalitarian society, we wanted to respond directly to this comment. Tu madre pendejo. And our response is, tu madre es un perro grande y peludo. Okay, dispatched with that one while maintaining our reputation for ethnic sensitivity. Next. That dude who games wrote this comment. Here's a tip. When trying to sell something, don't have the spokesperson have a voice that is annoying as hell. Okay, where do I start with this one? First of all, I'm taking from your ingenious YouTube channel name that you are pursuing a unique and surefire path toward inevitable YouTube stardom. My guess is that you've watched a few Minecraft videos and you decided to start a channel called That Dude Who Games, where you will upload your idiotic screen captures, mumble something over the top, do some crap face cam action, and call yourself an artist. I guess your strategy carries some sort of weight because, let's face it, nobody gets famous on YouTube for original content. It's only by copying other people's games, videos, etc. that you can get any traction in this user-generated shithole. But still, couldn't you come up with a slightly less stupid name for your channel? And next, my voice is not annoying as hell, my lisp is dignified, and sets me apart from morons such as yourself. Next, NeoRyan333 writes, Buzzquote is for faggots with lisps like yourself. Now, this particular piece of wisdom is from someone posing as a human being named NeoRyan333. Dear NeoRyan, homophobia is not cool, you are not cool, you deserve to go to hell. And, as I've outlined previously in this video, my lisp is extremely cool, and in fact I am sure that you are just jealous of it. Okay, next one. Weirdo Productions LOLFest writes in, thank God this isn't one of those nasty vids. Now, This comment I can't be overly harsh about, but it is fairly stupid. I mean, obviously this YouTube user was actually looking for a nasty vid and somehow got to our channel. But thanks for taking the time to identify us as non-nasty, because this does seem to be a matter of some debate around here. I would, however, like to say, if we're nasty in a good way. Like, damn, that shit is some nasty shit. Like, as in nasty being a stand-in for the word cool or hot or awesome or etc. Anyway, you get it. Next, Suzanka Tyler writes, overpay a smart A like you to place these ads that cost money. Now, this is a comment by Suzanka Tyler. By the way, I can guarantee you that this profile picture is totally faked, and actually this channel is controlled by a 14-year-old kid somewhere in a Pakistani slum who is being paid 1/4 cent per hour to post fake comments on YouTube channels, and is operating behind a proxy IP, so it looks like he's in the US, and he's been momentarily distracted from his Viagra postings to add his tidbit of wisdom to our channel. But in any case, this comment requires no actual response. In fact, really no response can be offered, since it's not written in any language that actually exists. It's just pure unmediated stupid, the platonic ideal of stupid, made real in electrons, JavaScript, and HTML. Thank you, Suzanka Tyler. Next, from Chance P777 comes an extremely confused and confusing post of apparently religious origin. Let's back out on this one and see the bigger overview. About 2,000 years ago, in a patch of land that is now modern-day Israel, a small group of semi-literate sheep herders started compiling a bunch of ancient myths into something called the Bible. The Bible didn't make any sense then. In fact, it contradicted itself a zillion times and had all kinds of weird, nonsensical stuff like people living to be 1,000 years old or whatever. But in any case, they compiled this book. And then by pure accident of history, they were invaded by the Romans, and then the Romans took over half the civilized world, and then the Romans, by another accident of history, converted to this silly cult, and it was spread nearly all over Europe, and then by another accident of history, these Europeans ended up pretty much conquering and demolishing every other civilization on Earth because they had access to stuff like steel and really nasty germs. And then this cult spread all over the world, and now like 1 billion or 2 people are involved in it, and it tends to encourage cult members to do stuff like have a lot of kids, kick out homosexuals, start wars, etc. So now we arrive at whatever tiny slice of history this YouTube user Chance P77 has put his meager little mental claws around, and this user is continuing this nonsense, literally this cultural intellectual spam, by pasting idiotic quotes on random YouTube channels and trying to drive traffic to his website, which of course was built and maintained by a bunch of scientists and engineers who I am sure are aware that their site houses many millions of pages of superstition, such as the kind that Chance P777 is spreading. But they don't really care because these people end up clicking on the ads on the website and buying the junk that is advertised therein. Are you still with me? In any case, I like to support Chance P777 in his or her quixotic quest to go back 2,000 years in time and pretend that we are all still herding goats and stuff like that. Okay, next. Someone named Cool Guy writes in, I don't like your lisp or the way you sniff really hard before you begin a sentence. Okay, next one. Goonie50 writes in, this guy sounds like he's missing a tongue. Okay, next one. Hunter Jennings. Buzzquote, can you help me get subs? No. Next. From Gadingi. Yeah, we'll go with the guy with the gay voice and the lisp. Hired. Now, this is finally a sensible comment, because that's what I decided also when I applied to myself for my own job. I was like, wait, why would I want to hire anyone else to do this? I already have this super gay voice and this lisp. Awesome!